Hi everybody. So I think it is very clear that the drinking culture here at USC and at other colleges across the United States are very heavy. They would be considered heavy. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't aware of the underage drinking here at our school and at other schools in the nation. And ever since the legal drinking age in the United States was raised from 18 to 21 in 1984, there has been a big debate on whether or not the drinking age should be lowered again. The purpose of my informative speech is to discuss the pros and cons of lowering the legal drinking age in the United States from 21 to 18 and question should the U.S. legal drinking age be 18 instead of 21. There's been a lot of evidence for each side, and I hope by the end of my speech you will be more informed on the topic. So in 1984, the U.S. government passed the National Minimum Drinking Age Act, which changed the legal drinking age from 18 to 21. So ever since, the debate on the legal drinking age has been both very controversial and relevant. I will start off by discussing the pros of lowering the drinking age from 21 to 18. Dwight B. Heath, a Brown University anthropology professor, claims that the legal drinking age at 21 develops forbidden fruit syndrome. This means that when something, in this case drinking, is forbidden, it makes people want to do it even more. For example, when telling teens or forcing teens to not be able to drink until 21 makes them want to rebel and drink even more. Gabriel Glaser, an author, said raising the drinking age to 21 hasn't reduced drinking, it's merely driven it underground to the riskiest of settings. Much like in Prohibition, when alcohol was illegal, the culture of alcohol did not disappear, it just happened in more secretive ways. In today's term, making alcohol illegal for anyone under the age of 21 does not make teens not drink anymore. It just makes them do it in secretive ways. And this also includes the large market of fake IDs. So this highly illegal business is just one way that underage drinking has made a large presence in both high schools and colleges in the U.S. So if the legal drinking age was lowered to 18, then the use of fake IDs would decrease greatly. And one of the biggest arguments for lowering the drinking age is for what 18-year-olds are usually allowed to do instead of drinking. So if you're 18 and you live in America, you are able to vote, marry, purchase a gun, and join the military. But you're not allowed to have a beer. So this dynamic is puzzling to many people, how so much responsibility is given to 18-year-olds, but they aren't allowed to have a drink. So if the U.S. allows this much freedom to 18-year-olds, then a lot of people think that they should also have that freedom to choose if they want to drink or not. So another look on this topic is to lower it maybe not to 18, but to 19. Lauren Steinberg, an adolescent brain researcher, claims that lowering the drinking age to 19 would keep it illegal for high school students, but legal for most college students. This statement is based on the view that college students are more mature than high school students. Steinberg also claims that having the drinking age set to 21 leads to drinking in unregulated and unmonitored settings where problem drinking is all too easy. Lastly, another pro of lowering the drinking age is that there are fewer drunk driving traffic accidents and fatalities in many countries where the legal drinking age is 18. A statistic shows that although the U.S. increased the MLDA to 21 in 1984, its rate of traffic accidents and fatalities in the 1980s decreased less than that of European countries whose legal drinking ages are lower than 21. So that basically means that since the 1980s, since increasing the drinking age to 21, the amount of drunk driving, accidents and fatalities, have decreased and even lower, increased. They have decreased less than countries in Europe that have a drinking age of 18. So although there are several pros to lowering the U.S. drinking age from 21 to 18, there are cons as well. So the claim by most is that 18-year-olds are not mature enough, either emotionally or physically, to be able to drink. So Tamika C. B. Sabowski, an assistant professor of psychology at Indiana University, Purdue, said that lowering the drinking age may lead to lower perception of risk. When perception of risk from a particular substance decreases, prevalence rates tend to increase. Research by economics Christopher Carpenter and Carlos Dobkin show that arrest rates for violent and nuisance crimes rise sharply at age 21 and persist through at least age 23. So a lower drinking age would likely cause this period of violence and arrests and alcohol-related criminal activity to start earlier and last longer. Also, scientific evidence shows that the human brain does not fully develop until between the ages of 21 and 25. So not only emotionally but physically for the brain, it's not healthy for young adults or people under the age of 21 to begin drinking. So anyone under the age of 21 is technically still in a developmental period for their brain. And drinking alcohol can impair their growth, it can affect memory, and alter blood flow in certain brain regions, especially the frontal lobe. Another con is that lowering the drinking age to 18 would increase the number of teens and young adults in bars and clubs, which are typically not in safe environments, and neighborhoods with a heavy abundance of bars and nightclubs usually have higher crime rates. A survey for the Center of Alcohol Policy found that 86% of Americans support the legal drinking age being set to 21. With the legal drinking age being 21, teens in America still drink underage. If the legal drinking age was lowered to 18, then the trickle-down effect would come into play. With young adults being legal, kids would start to drink even earlier, such as middle school. Lastly, people tend to be more responsible, or people tend to believe that young adults are more responsible at 21 rather than 18. As an 18-year-old, I can say it's true that we are entering a brand new phase of our lives, and 18-year-olds are typically more accustomed to being taken care of by their parents as opposed to 21-year-olds. So in gaining this new freedom, 18-year-olds are more susceptible to abuse alcohol and participate in binge drinking and other reckless behavior, such as risky sexual behavior. In conclusion, the question on whether or not the U.S. legal drinking age should be lowered from 21 to 18 can be heavily debated on both sides. It is all about a matter of maturity in young adults and the science behind the developing brain. Although the current legal drinking age of 21 has been in effect for quite some time now, I believe that this controversial topic will be discussed for many more years to come.